I definitely want to open up to questions and answers from the audience, but I just wanted to see if any of the other sheriffs on our panel would like to say something very briefly before we move to Q&A. Sheriff Jenkins, welcome.
Sheriff Charles Jenkins, Frederick County, Maryland. Thank you just for having me this morning. Congressman, thank you, sir, for your work. My fellow sheriffs, thank you for what you're doing. I'm the sheriff of Frederick County, Maryland. I'm not a border sheriff. I'm not a western state sheriff. But I'm a sheriff that's your neighbor, 1 hour, Central Maryland. Can you hear me, sir? Okay. I'm your neighbor. I'm 1 hour away, Central Maryland, beautiful rural county. But because of the problems that the sheriffs in Arizona are talking about, we suffer those same problems in Frederick County. This is about the rule of law. This is about saving America. This is about public safety and national security. We cannot just fight the battles at the border. Yes, it's about securing the border, but again, we're feeling the convergence of all these problems throughout the entire region. And, okay. We are feeling the same problems and issues. We're feeling the same drug activity, drug trafficking. You're seeing a major quantities of narcotics coming through the East Coast. Frederick County is a corridor for that. We are a convergence of many interstate routes. So the problems that are affecting you are affecting us, and I've got your back up in Maryland.
Sheriff Johnson?
Yes, I'm Sheriff Terry Johnson from Alamance County, North Carolina. And, you know, you've sat and listened to the sheriffs on the border talk today. Well, let me tell you, we're experiencing some of the same level of crime in our county, maybe not at the magnitude, but I have some photographs here that I'll just show you, to give you an example. Execution in Alamance County of an illegal immigrant, drug traffic. And my fellow sheriff here from Lee County, Tracy Carter, we have a lot of our activity. I-40 goes county line to county line in Alamance County, and we've been an agriculture area, a manufacturing area, textiles, and a building area. That has attracted a lot of your immigrants from Mexico and Guatemala into Alamance County. Well, what comes with those is your drug cartels. Here is a photograph of weapons seized in Reynosa, Mexico, with the vehicle there was from Lee County. And a lot of our drugs are back and forth. We talk about the cartels over in Mexico and what they're doing. We've arrested in the last several months 35 individuals. 95% of the major drug traffickers in our county are illegal criminal aliens from Mexico. Of the 35 we arrested just a few months ago, 25 were found to be criminal illegal aliens, and they possessed 18 weapons. I'm talking about weapons seized just on these individuals in traffic stops or searches. 9 of them was from the Sonora cartel in Alamance County. We are a small county, 151,000, 152,000 population. Folks, I'm here to ask for your help. Our citizens are tired of being victimized. I am tired as a law enforcement officer representing and protecting those citizens that are being victimized. It is amazing some of the things that's going on in our nation. And we feel helpless as sheriffs. Am I correct, sheriffs? We feel helpless in a lot of ways. And that's why we travel to Washington, D.C. We need your help. We are a nation of immigrants, and I have no problem with any immigrants coming to America. Let's do it the right way, and let's don't do it with criminal intent. And I ask for your help. And I beg of you today to take this back to your bosses. The media, take it back to America, because the story is not being told correctly. Thank you.
I'm Sheriff Tracy Carter from Lee County, North Carolina. I am about 5 hours to your south. If you're familiar with North Carolina, where Raleigh's at, I'm about 40 miles south of Raleigh. And I can tell you, since '06, since I've been sheriff, we have seized, I don't know, a little over $20 million worth of illegal drugs, the majority of those drugs came from individuals that were coming to our county illegally. And I would echo everything that my fellow sheriffs have said today, but I especially want to echo what Chief Henry said about national security. I mean, what else is coming across our border? I mean, I think this is the greatest threat to our nation, and that's why I'm here today. That's one of the main reasons I'm here. I'm also here because I feel like I owe it to my county. Thank you.
Just a few minutes ago, the reference was made to the sheriff from Mayberry. That's me. Surrey County, North Carolina is Andy Griffith's hometown, and part of the show was based there, so that's where that comment comes from. My name's Graham Atkinson. I'm the sheriff in Surrey County. About 2 years ago, one Sunday afternoon, I was in Walmart with my son, who at the time was 11 years old. I also had my niece and nephew with me when my cell phone rang. I was told when I answered the call that less than a mile from where I was standing and about 40 yards from the parking lot of our major hospital in Surrey County, there had been a quadruple homicide. Turned out that the shooter in that case was a previously deported illegal reentry, had been deported for sexually abusing a girl, and the assault was committed with an SKS assault rifle. There in the middle of downtown Mount Airy, 21 shots were fired from that assault rifle, including execution on each of the victims after they were down. The headlines the next morning read, "Murder in Mayberry." Since I've been sheriff, we've had one of our local SBI agents was assisting us with a narcotics investigation. Undercover purchase of methamphetamine was made from a person who had illegally entered the United States and was involved in narcotics trafficking. Shortly after that undercover purchase was made, they approached his house. He came out with a gun. The officers had to shoot him. Several times instances that we can document where we've done drug deals, gone to arrest people immediately after the deal or search their homes, their assault weapons, their handguns, they're carrying guns with them. And about 2 weeks ago, the high school that I graduated from almost 10 years ago, a little longer than that, but my daughter graduated also from that school last year, and the school that my son will be attending next year, a 14-year-old was arrested at the school with cocaine, there with the intent to sell it, and he also was in the United States illegally. It's not just the border counties. It's not just big cities. We're having these problems in rural Surrey County at 536 square miles, and our latest census said about 73,000 people. The same issues that they're having on the border in Arizona, we're having in Mayberry. So it's something that touches us all over the state and all over the United States. And again, like the other sheriffs have said, it's not just a matter of people coming in illegally. It's the people that are there for the purpose of engaging in criminal conduct. There are lots of drugs, there are lots of weapons, and it is a national security issue. Thank you all for being here today, and please take that message back and tell them that we need help combating this problem.
Thank you, Sheriff Atkinson. Sir?
Sheriff Oliver, Yadkin County, North Carolina. I probably represent one of the smallest communities here today. And the reason I bring that up is to tell you that it is a problem that affects us all, regardless of the size of your county. It's all across the United States. We have approximately 40,000 citizens in our county, and we're supposed to have about 10% immigrant population, but that's not reflected in our crimes. Little statistics that I have just to show you how it affects us. This year, we've got a 21% increase in our drug-related crimes, and that is among our immigrant population. That's not an overall increase, just in our immigrant population increase. We've also had a 24% increase in violent crimes among our immigrants. We currently have 38% of our unserved warrants, and many of those will never be served because of documentation, identification problems that we currently are holding are of illegal immigrants. Detention population, again, about 10% of our detention population is that. We have a very small detention facility. We house more people in other jails than we do our own, and that's costing the citizens and the taxpayers a great deal of money there in our county, and that is just continuing to add to our burden. We are mostly an agricultural community there as well, and we have very limited resources. I just wanted to reiterate the problems that we're seeing, the increase in the criminal activities, the violent crimes that are increasing among our immigrants, and the drug problems. I've been in law enforcement for about 34 years now. I only took office as sheriff of this county approximately a year ago, and I'm seeing how much things have changed over that period of time. When I was working drug enforcement in our county several years ago, the worst problem we had in our high schools was a small bag of marijuana. And now our undercover officers are buying trafficking amounts of cocaine, methamphetamine from high school kids. Things are changing, and it is affecting us all. It's time we need to wake up and do something about securing our borders and doing more to work with illegal immigrants here in our communities. Thank you.
Thank you. Sheriff Jones?
Carolina. Caldwell County is 452 square miles. It's beautiful. It's in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains. You would look at it and think of something you'd see right out of a magazine as far as retirement. It's a community I love and I have for many years. But along with what the other sheriffs have said, it's also hit Caldwell County as well. I'm concerned about our citizens, and I'm concerned about the safety and the issues that we're dealing with. And right now, the amount of drugs that's coming in from out of the country into my county, it's over the last several years, I've never seen as much come in as it has in the last few months. We have issues there just like each one of them. We've had homicides that involves illegal immigrants. Right now I have in my jail, I have MS-13 members. Didn't even know what MS-13 was for about a year ago, to where I started seeing more and more. And yes, we do hold inmates for other counties, but that was the first for me. And when we get to that point, especially in our area, that's a big concern. And I ask you to go back and tell your representatives to give us the resources, the help we need to keep our community safe. Again, thank you and appreciate everyone being here.
Thank you, Sheriff Jones.